the Prime Minister of India is a corrupt person. हिंदुस्तान की रक्षा मंत्री फ्रांस जा रही है. इससे साफ क्लियर मैसेज क्या हो सकता है? Dassault is sitting on a huge contract. Dassault is going to say what the Indian government wants it to say.
राहुल गांधी जी ने झूठ पर झूठ का प्रयोग किया. The people of this country do not want a clown prince to play with the national security of their country.
A big focus on political exchange today. Rahul Gandhi calls the Prime Minister corrupt and accuses him of putting 30,000 crore in Anil Ambani's pocket. This after a French news agency Mediapart reported that in May 2017, a senior executive of Dassault Aviation had made a presentation stating that Reliance partnership was imperative and mandatory to get the Rafale export contract. The story has given more ammunition to the Congress, even though Dassault has reiterated that its decision to partner with Reliance Naval was an independent one. The story has led to political fireworks within Congress and the BJP launching full-blown attacks at each other. Joining us right now are Nirmala Rao of the BJP, former Air Vice Marshal Kapil Kark, former diplomat Rakesh Sood, and Congress spokesperson Sanjay Jha as well. But my first question to Ambassador Rakesh Sood. Ambassador Sood, you were ambassador to France between 2011 to 2013. A lot of developments have taken place in the last couple of weeks. Firstly, you had François Hollande telling a news agency in France that they had no choice as far as Reliance was concerned. And now you have another report by Mediapart which said that having this joint venture, having this partnership with Reliance was an imperative trade-off. It was mandatory for getting the Rafale export contract. Do you think that this is one aspect of the deal that needs to be answered and this is a questionable area?
Well, actually, there are three simple questions that need to be answered by the government in this regard. The first is the nature by which we decided that instead of 126 aircraft that were needed, we reduced the number to 36. Now, why was that? Why did that happen? I think there needs to be clarity. The second question is that the government, the BJP government, has been at pains to try and show that it has negotiated a better deal. But it has been completely obfuscatory when it comes to giving out the costs involved and how this deal is supposed to be cheaper. The third question is obviously the question of some very, very inconvenient kind of coincidences with regard to the offset partner being Anil Ambani's defense aerostructures, the joint venture that they set up with Dassault. And the timing of the changes of offset policy, the timing of the changes of the FDI in defense sector from 25% to 49%, and these are a whole set of very inconvenient coincidences which also need to be addressed. So there are essentially three sets of questions.
You know, very quickly, Ambassador Sood, you were there when this contract was discussed during the UPA as well. Was there a clause under which pricing of the Rafale deal could not be revealed? Is the NDA government right in saying so?
No, that is completely incorrect because there is an agreement between the two governments that was signed in 2008, and this is an agreement on exchange and reciprocal protection of classified and protected information. This agreement was renewed by the BJP government in March of 2018 for yet another 10 years. And apart from that, President Macron is on record in an interview to India Today to say that he would have no difficulty if the government of India chooses to disclose the price considerations to the Indian Parliament if the Parliament so desires. There would be other aspects regarding the technical specifications and the capabilities which would be classified and which would not be
Ambassador
disclosed.
Sood,
but in any case, Dassault, as a private company,
saying that the pricing mechanism can be
actually indicated the costs. Well, Dassault itself has indicated the cost in its annual financial report as a private company.
GVL, is this an embarrassment for the BJP now? You've got Rahul Gandhi saying that the Prime Minister is corrupt. 30,000 crores have been put in the pocket of Anil Ambani. And this Mediapart report raises a question about a deal that was not transparent. It shows that a particular company was favored and there was no choice for Dassault Aviation. That is what Mediapart is saying, and that is what the Congress is also saying.
No, I can understand Rahul Gandhi's compulsions to lie blatantly and without an iota of truth. But I expect your channel and you not to be taking to those lies, but actually stick to the facts and analysis. But unfortunately, you seem to be either getting confused or you're motivated by it yourself. The reality is the document that they apparently some channel, the private, some website has accessed. It does not talk about a particular company. It talks about compensatory investments, which are imperative to get this deal. And therefore, certainly there was a mandatory element of it. And offset was an important obligation for Dassault to really procure this deal. So there is no revelation about it. But unfortunately, Rahul Gandhi only can lie and doesn't have any facts to really support his arguments. And therefore, the media should at least apply a yardstick. You should check the facts before you parrot those lies. There is no mention of, in that particular document, there is no specific mention of a company. It only talks about an imperative investments, compulsory investments, which are a part of the agreement. And as regards what Ambassador Sood
you
said,
can raise questions about the media.
More of a political ambassador for Rahul Gandhi, and I will not spare him. I will not spare him either. Because you cannot, on what basis is it saying?
I'll get in Sanjay Jha now. GVL, you can raise questions about the media, but remember, this Mediapart report is also coming in the backdrop of what Francois Hollande had said. And the French government has not said anything on that so far. But I would like to get in Sanjay Jha.
And what he said,
this is an important point that GVL has also...
No, I think you're lying again. You are either ill-informed. Parikshit, you are ill-informed.
We are misinterpreting. We're misinterpreting. I'm coming back to you, GVL. We are misinterpreting the Mediapart report. Nowhere does it say that it was a trade-off. It was compulsory to get in Reliance Naval. They only said that an offset contract with an Indian entity was necessary. They are saying that the Congress party is misinterpreting this report to its advantage. How do you respond to that?
See, Parikshit, I mean, if you want to live in denial, it's the easiest thing to do. It's also a fundamental right under the Indian Constitution. I was hearing the BJP spokesperson, and I think, trying to give dodgy answers and twist it into semantics is being rather duplicitous and disingenuous with facts. Now, let me tell you, they said the same. Now, you have an ex-French president, for God's sake. I mean, the president of France, I mean, it's the most august position of executive decision-making in France. If the BJP, when Mr. Francois Hollande said that we were given no choice but to take in Reliance, they dismissed it as, it was just some kind of a statement made which he retracted, when in fact, actually, he said later on that there was a new formula, and I'm quoting him, which changed the Rafale transaction. Now, let me give you just one example, because I think Ambassador Sood has actually put a lot of the points explicitly on the table. I don't want to indulge in the BJP rhetoric, but let me just give you one example, Parikshit. Just do the comparison here. You have Hindustan Aeronautics with over 70 years of defense expertise and production experience. Point number two, a company whose assets are 64,000 crores, whose income today is over around 18,000 crores, whose profitability is over 3,000 crores, which has, by the way, also worked. They have the experience of having worked on the MiG and the Mirage and the Sukhoi jets. Now, let's just compare it to the new offset partner which Mr. Modi has given.
But you would also agree that this was only for spare parts. This offset contract Reliance was for spare parts. No. It's not for manufacturing the entire aircraft.
Parikshit, just give me 15 seconds. It is not just an offset. Parikshit, just listen to this part. First, listen to this. Reliance has zero expertise in defense, even offsets, by the way. Point number two, very clearly, it was a company in serious commercial debt to the Indian banking system. and it had also defaulted on foreign currency borrowings. I don't think any foreign investor would get into a joint venture with a partner who's defaulting on their own commitments abroad. But now, one minute, let me finish.
All right, I want to get in.
This company's claim to being a partner was owning land given to them by the government. For this company set up 2 weeks before Narendra Modi lands in Paris. I mean, aren't you looking at these as extraordinary coincidences?
All
what
right.
are we talking about?
Sanjay,
I mean,
hold on now. I'll have to get in Vice Marshal
the ultimate compromise with national security.
Let's look at what can really happen legally. When you have Dassault Aviation saying in its report that it chose Reliance out of its own free will, this was an independent commercial decision, is there any argument really left? How far can the Congress really take this?
Well, the point has been already made. President Francois Hollande was the president of France, and Dassault is totally and completely dependent on governmental directives and instruction, even though it's an independent company. So therefore, between what Dassault says and President Hollande says, I'd much rather opt for what Hollande says. You also mentioned this media part. I don't want to comment there. But I think in this whole debate and slugfest, we are missing out 2 or 3 very crucial points. The point that Ambassador Rakesh Sood also made, how is it that this government suddenly reduced a critical, crucial requirement of 126 Rafales, which the Air Force has been bidding for from 2000, it's now 18 years, to 36, and set in motion another request for information, which means that proposal will take 10.5 to 11 years. I want to tell the viewers that after Prime Minister Modi and President Hollande made this statement, announcement in Paris, it will be 7.5 years before the last of the 36 aircraft lands for flying by the Indian Air Force. Look at the time scale. Therefore, I think this government should have followed up with the agreement, which seemed to have reached a kind of a cul-de-sac, and put Dassault's feet to fire. After all, they had accepted to HAL manufacturing the aircraft under the request for proposal. They were legally committed.
All right.
And how would they get out of it by
GDL,
saying...
I'm going to come back to you after this break. The question will be straight to you, because I think this panel is raising questions about what happened on 10th April 2015 when Prime Minister Modi met Francois Hollande in Paris, and they're also saying what was the need to change the deal from 126 to 36. We're going to come to you right after this break.